campaign, Drunk on Broad, Beer Battered Sports, and the Fired Up Sports Show, which are available on all major podcasting hosting sites and social media. Also, check out Mark Ramos' Roundup on firedupsports.com, which breaks down the happenings going on with all your favorite local teams.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
Swinging a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes!
Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
What up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's up, Philly? Drunk on Broad, baby. Back again.
Listen, back again. Go get those Philly drinker. Go get your Philly drinker merch. Use the Drunk on Broad 15 code.
Use
Go
the
get
code.
their cool. Use the code.
Use the code.
Use the code.
Code Drunk on Broad at checkout for 15% off.
But if you see the spit, you must acquit.
I am so fuck Dak Prescott. That's all. I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I think.
Fucking loser.
Listen, we're gonna talk. Obviously, we'll recap opening night, which was wild from the jump.
To say the least, Don. To say the
Right.
fucking least.
We'll talk about a Super Bowl replay
Yep.
in Kansas City, and then we can kind of jump around the league about some of the exciting stuff that we saw in Week 1. But I mean, before the game even starts, and we can say that because 5 seconds rolled off the clock after the open off. Ben Van Sumeren is down.
God damn
Tears
it.
his knee up, out for the season. In that influx, right? We obviously we've seen the umpteenth amount of replays. The one
Yes.
that I want to start with is the one that they don't show until the rain delay, which
Of course.
they didn't show until 11-ish,
Yep.
which shows a much fuller prickture.
Prickster. It's a prickster. It's like a precise picture. It's a prickture.
Well, I'm more talking about the prick in Dak Prescott
Oh, yeah.
because
Anybody with the name Rain Dakota who's a grown ass man, I'm going to spit on regardless.
Correct.
Fucking guy.
I think that what you saw obviously was that, listen, and we can just start here, right? Spitting on somebody is probably the lowest form of
Wrong.
something you can do to
Don't condone it. It's wrong.
it's bad, right? So
Gross.
don't do it in general.
It's gross.
Not for nothing, but Jalen Carter, what happened with Jalen Carter was not unprovoked.
No, not at all.
Right? You saw him kind of jawing with Dak Prescott. You saw Prescott stand between three linemen
Because he's a bitch.
and project spit in the direction of Jalen Carter,
Yes.
to which Jalen Carter said, not the one.
Not the one.
Not the one. Nope. So, right, obviously he spits on him. He gets ejected immediately before
Served
a
as suspension.
defensive snap, right? And you heard them say post-game, they immediately threw out the game plan and changed everything that they were going to do because everything that they were going to do was directed at how do we try to take care of number 98 so that he doesn't completely wreck the game. Well, you saw them, right? They trade the first 4 drives from both teams.
Yep.
All result in points.
Mhm.
Talk to me about that initial drive, right? Because that initial drive, there wasn't a whole lot of resistance from the Eagles defense, right? They're able to kind of go up and down the field. They're able to run the ball. I I like the way that they responded later in the game to
Yeah.
having to make that adjustment in game before the game even started.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, just taking it back to the whole spitting thing, it was bullshit that the replay of Dak literally stepping in between his two linemen to spit in the direction was showed that late. When you do something like that, it's there's more of an intent there than it is just, oh no, I was just spitting. Why did you have to go in between three offensive linemen who were technically between you and the other player to spit? Oh, I spit all the time. Of course you're a spitter, Dak. You should fucking swallow more because you suck. Um, um, sorry, that just came out. That just came out. No apologies, because fuck him. But seriously, like it was the biggest bullshit, and there was like, oh my god, I can't believe he just spit on him like that. And then they show the replay, and everybody kind of calms down a little bit, and they're still like, well, it's bad, but they like kind of just play it off at this point. And on Jason Garrett, well, I asked Dak if there was any intent. He said, "I spit all the time." It's like Jason Garrett, like you fucking blow the Cowboys too, and you suck. So shut the fuck up. You love Jerry Jones. Everybody knows it. Cut to the game. It was just you can tell it was complete disarray on those
Mhm.
first few drives. Guys were just basically our defensive line was just hanging on for dear life. You know, we didn't have the vanilla gorilla active, so that takes away defensive tackle. Um, so it's basically Jordan Davis in there all time, him and Morrow. Um,
Yeah,
so it's tough, you know. You get tired. They ran the up tempo offense. They were basically okay. We're going to make sure the line can't substitute. Dallas did what Dallas did. I mean,
yeah,
it took provoking our best player, who we all know is a little bit of a psychopath, into some extracurriculars to get him kicked out to do it. If Jalen
yeah,
Carter's in the game, is it different? Maybe. I'm going to say fuck yeah, it is, but
yeah,
maybe. But you know, the defense responded well and they held their own. The whole Javante Williams running through the Eagles defense, whatever, dude. Like the best player is not there. But they responded and we got solid linebacker play. I mean, the
Well,
biggest thing was we did get some solid linebacker play, you know, toward the middle of the game when you saw some more drives stalling out. You saw the Eagles defense, you know, finally getting stops on third down, which was huge and needed. You know, the edge
yeah,
rushers looked I still think the edge rushers look good. I think it was that bullshit fucking penalty on Nolan Smith for flexing. I thought that was fucking dumb. The
yeah.
no fun
That
league
whole
strikes
sportsmanship.
again.
Yeah, the the whole sportsmanship stuff is a lot to do about nothing, and it's turning the
Yeah,
NFL into the no fun league,
yeah,
where I think one of my biggest takeaways on the positive end is Jahad Campbell.
yeah,
Seeing Jahad Campbell in game number one with one training camp under his belt, covering guys 30 yards down the field, block like breaking up passes,
yep,
going sideline to sideline, being able to tackle the way he and Zach Bond on the field at the same time. What I saw, Rich, that I loved is that there is no check down in this with this defense.
yeah,
Any check down is going to be immediately snuffed out.
yeah. We got tacklers on the
Everybody,
outside.
everybody flies to the ball.
So
So
good.
you can throw screen passes, you can throw the check downs, but you're not like none of those plays are breaking for big gains.
Mhm.
All of those plays got snuffed out.
Yeah,
Nothing was what was done to be able to make any of those plays productive. So I look at this and go, ah, Jahad Campbell was incredible. Zach
Mhm.
Bond picked
Stud.
up where he left off last year. Absolute stud. Um, I think some of the penalties with Quinion Mitchell were again. I don't want to sound like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but like some of those calls were questionable.
They were tic tac. They were very ticky tack.
So I left
They they held
I
their
left
own. They
feeling
held their own against two stud wide receivers. I mean, Adoree Jackson got beat like a drum, but he didn't look too bad. I mean, shout out to CD for dropping three passes. I mean, that's
yeah.
just dumb. But I mean, he was going to get smacked.
He got the third star for the Birds.
Yeah, he did get the third star because he was our best player. Dak looked good. I fucking hate saying it, but like he came off the injury and he looked decent as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Shitty person, decent as a quarterback. Um, their offensive line
Mhm.
was holding their own against the Eagles.
Yeah.
But again, it was not against blitz like and Dallas honestly against the blitz pickup. We had guys running home, but Dak was getting the ball out quick. But it wasn't really turning into anything when he was throwing those short dump off passes and those checkdowns, like you said. We had guys who could fly around. The opening drive, Dallas tried to set the tone. Javonte Williams punched it in, and it looked like they were going to march all over us. And then you saw the adjustments
Mhm.
come from the defense. And just talking the defensive side of the ball right now, unfortunately, one of the best things that happened in the game was Sidney Brown getting hurt. Because Andrew Makumba came in, and Andrew Makumba looked fucking phenomenal.
He looked great.
And that's
You
what you
got
want.
really, really good contributions from your number 1 and number 2 picks.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't know that you could have asked more of those two in game number 1. I think there were a lot of plays where Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt were like not even a half a second from a
They
sack.
were there all night.
They were there, and I think Rich, that was without Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
You put Jalen Carter on the field with those guys at the same time, there's where you're going to make up that half a second. And I think that you're probably going to see that because, and this is a little preview what we'll talk about a little bit later, but like the Chiefs didn't do a whole lot with their offensive line.
No.
So I'm very curious to see, but I think that Jalen Carter effect is something that you have the opportunity to now get those guys on the edge in space. That's what Jalen Carter does. I mean, Jalen Carter was the best player on the field in the Super Bowl and didn't have a tackle.
Yeah. How did Milt Williams do this weekend, and how did Josh Sweat do this weekend? Because all I could hear was the fucking commentators. Well, they're without Milt Williams and Josh Sweat, two of their best defensive linemen who they let go in free agency. And to be completely fucking honest with you, they were that good because of Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
So we got to
Well,
stop playing these games that, when you have a generational talent like Jalen Carter and he's out of the game, the whole defensive line is going to suffer. And so does the game plan because, like, you game plan around your best players, and that's how you develop your schemes, your blitz packages. I mean, he is a certain double team. Dallas didn't have to double team anybody all night.
No.
And, we were this close from getting there. Dak did a good job of getting the ball out. Like, he did what he had to do to be a quarterback.
Right.
He didn't hold on to the ball too long. If he held on to the ball just a half, like you said, a half a second quicker, he was getting sacked multiple times by Hunt and fucking Nolan Smith. Did you see the fucking play where Tyler Guyton punched fucking Jalen Hunt in the head and they didn't call anything? He straight up
Nothing.
cut back and hit him with a right hook.
Yeah.
And nothing was done. And this is the bullshit that I hate to see because we want officiating that's both sides. I think Dallas got away with a few questionable holds, especially when I think it was Hunt who not only got punched but got drugged down with a hand around his neck. Still got his hand on Dak Prescott. But it's just like, come on, man. Like, this is like the bullshit. And then you got Quinion getting called for some ticky tack shit. You got George Pickens hand fighting with them, and then they throw a flag. It's like, come on, guys. But from what I saw from the defenses, you got your young guys who are contributing. And that's what you want to see. Jihad Campbell was going to be a monster. Quinion Mitchell is still a no-fly zone. Reed doing Reed things. But seriously, Sidney Brown going out and having Makumba come in was huge because Makumba was making plays and was in position. And he was working in unison with Jihad Campbell. And that's what you want to see. Nothing against Sidney Brown, but I am not a Sidney Brown fan. Sidney Brown is a amazing special teamers because he can go balls to the wall and do what he needs to do. He is not the type of guy who fits into that system at safety. He is not a patient guy. He's a big hit, big type of play type of guy. What's up, Chris?
Yeah.
He's not the type of dude who can sit there and be patient. And he's never fucking healthy.
No.
So it's good to see Makuma come in, and he did have the injury designation before the game. It's good to see he came out of the game, no problems with his hamstring, practicing this week, not on the injury report. That's your safety going forward. That's your guy next to Reed.
Yeah, that's the guy you pencil in, and I think to know that you have A lot of your heavy contracts right now are on offense. So you got to be young and talented on defense. And I think they've done a really great job at reshaping this roster. I heard Dave Zangaro talking about the fact that since the start of they have 6 guys that are on their 53 man roster who were not even in camp with them.
Yeah.
They are continuing to rebuild and remake and reshift this roster so that it is as good as it possibly can be, right? You saw them do that this week, right? Trading for Tank Bigsby, bringing in Zadarius Smith, like those guys, right? Zadarius Smith, 33, but had a very Josh Sweat-like production in a season last year where he plays half the season. Browns? Was it Browns and
Browns
Lions?
and Browns
Lions.
and Lions, I think, yes. Or Browns and Lions, I think.
But
I
he
want
had
to say
9
Green
snacks.
Bay. I want to say Green Bay, but I know I'm wrong. But I know he started off in Green Bay. We'll have to look at it. Don't fact check us right now.
But like he's got, for me, like I love the way, right? Howie is being Howie right now. And he's getting to the point where, right, you can tell that they're gonna play this game, that draft capital that they have, they've already started to, they've gone from 14 picks now to 10. They've spent some of that capital because they know that that's how they're going to be able to acquire talent during the year. Let's talk about this team on offense because you saw Jalen Hurts be Jalen Hurts, right? Do whatever you have to do to win. Don't look at the stat line. Yeah, he threw for 152 with no touchdowns in the air, but also no fumbles, no interceptions, right? Doesn't turn the ball over, makes smart decisions with the ball, has 62 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Like he does what you need to do to win the game. And that is the most important stat of anything. Of all the games that he has started and played in, he hasn't lost since week 4 of last year. Like he has gone almost a full calendar year without losing a game that he has started and played in.
Yeah. Jalen did what Jalen needed to do for this team to win. Like people got to stop overreacting and panicking. Oh, Devontae Smith wasn't really involved. AJ Brown was non-existent. Oh, the passing game. You got to understand this offense lives and dies through Jalen Hurts. Like this is his offense. Things run through him. I don't
Yeah.
think AJ Brown was 100% from the hamstring. I mean, they were showing footage if you watch the overhead shots and you can look at the clips on YouTube of the coaches film and you can see they were running high safety, shading his side the whole time. He never ran a deep route. Like AJ Brown, they're being cautious with him. He could have been out there as a decoy.
Yeah.
He got the one catch at the end of the game for 8 yards. Solid, looked decent. But also when you're killing them on the ground with Jalen Hurts, like it's hard to take that away.
Yeah.
You did what you had to do to win the game. That's called being, and Baldy even said it, that's called being a quarterback. That's called playing the position. And a lot of guys, he also they don't like being called game managers, but that's your job. You manage the game. You set the tone. And that's what Jalen Hurts did. Jalen Hurts didn't have to throw for 300 yards. That's not what the defense was giving him. He took what the
But
defense gave him, didn't turn the ball over, looked good, made some good throws, very decisive in the pocket. That's what you wanted to see from him. That's what everybody complains about. Holding on to the ball too long. He was making decisions and he was gone. He was making decisions, getting the ball away. He was doing what he had to do, utilizing the middle of the field, which everybody's been complaining about for the past fucking 3 years that we don't do enough of. And
yeah.
we finally did it. And well, why wasn't AJ Brown involved? They will have their games, but you got to understand this offense lives and dies through Jalen Hurts. So people need to stop fucking overreacting
Yeah.
and enjoy the fucking win.
Yeah. I think when you look at a game where no one would have, if you had taken the money to look at who would be their leading receiver, and that their leading receiver in yards would have been Jahan Dotson, and their leading receiver in receptions would have been Dallas Goedert at 7 receptions. Like,
Would have been me.
right? And but in a game where it was you were trading punches back and forth at the beginning of the game, and then you get the momentum shift with the fumble, the forced fumble, the atypical Miles Sanders scenario, right? The 49-yard run followed up by the fumble that turns the ball over inside the 10. Right? You look at that and you go, that's about right, right? And then you have the weather delay, right? And then no one
Yeah.
scores in the last 8 drives,
They should have just ended
which
the game. It was fucking terrible after that rain delay.
yeah, it
It
was
was
bad.
so
But
bad.
but but Rich, even with all of that, right? In a game where AJ Brown gets one catch for 8 yards, Devontae Smith, the two of them accounted for 4 receptions for 24 yards,
Yeah.
right? In a game where you you really didn't have like you really weren't like the game was close. It was closer than we all kind of anticipated, except for Joe. Right? We all tried to talk Joe out of it being a close game.
I know. Come
And,
on, Joe.
right? And then you look at this and you go like, but they found a way to win, which
Well,
is again
Joe told me he called Dak and set this up to prove us wrong. So I
nice.
blame Joe. Joe's like, oh, I'm going to make sure it's closer than what it is. I'm like, God damn it, Joe, don't do it. He did it. I can't talk the guy. He's a crazy son of a bitch. I can't talk him
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah, and you saw the Cowboys kind of squat on the box and right and try to really shut down Saquon. Still gets 60 yards, right? But it doesn't. He has six runs for 0 yards after that break. Um, I think what I love the first set of plays, right? That first set of scripted plays from Kevin Batul coming out of the gate, first time
Yeah.
calling the game. I liked.
Play calling
What
looked
I
great.
want to see is in that second half is where can we start making the adjustments? Where can we start taking advantage of the things that they're giving us? Because you're not going to be able to run Saquon Barkley into the line every time.
No.
Right? You're going to have to start getting creative. Any concerns on the offensive line? Any concerns with Landon Dickerson and the back, the knee?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Hopefully that everything comes back okay. I'm not sure if he was a. Did they give him an injury designations of like do not practice this week? Because I didn't see anything pop
Uh,
up. He might have been limited. Um,
I didn't see anything yet.
I didn't see anything, so I mean, I think that's a good sign. I mean, what are you going to do? You're when you have a back injury and then all of a sudden you're playing, and then you sit for an hour, you get tight. So
Yeah.
it absolutely sucks. I mean, that's anybody. You go from doing the activity, he was warmed up, he was fine, and then you go to sit. It happens with us. We're older now. You know, you're working, everything's
Yeah.
good, and all of a sudden you sit down for an hour, you're like, I can't get up. So, you know, it's kind of expected, especially with those types of injuries. You kind of see it just in daily life. Things just tighten up on you. As long as it, is not hindering him in practice, I think he's going to be okay to go. Obviously, it might give him a little bit of something for that back and give him an epidural or something, help loosen it up. Um, I don't see a problem. I thought the offensive line played well. Um,
Yeah.
I think they didn't play as well as I would have liked. But again, this is what happens when you have a bunch of guys who don't play in the preseason. So
Mhm.
once, by week 3, everything should be more congruent. Everybody should be gelling a little bit more. Um, I thought they did a very good job. I think, the whole running game of I I would like to see Barkley go to the outside a little bit more. I felt like they were just running him into the back of the
Mhm.
offensive line. Wasn't really much holes there. That was kind of strange. Um,
Yeah.
but Saquon was still making dudes miss, delivering the
How about,
pain
all right.
and
So
punishment
how about
on some catches.
the pass out, the little 5 yard? He has the most exciting 5 yard plays, right? The
The
pass out in the
spin,
flat that he spins backwards, catches it with one hand,
yeah.
right? Like it's he is just a pleasure to watch, and I think when it's all said and done, he's going to have so much history with this franchise
Mhm.
that it will be close enough that it will make people forget that he played for the Giants.
I think people already do forget that he played for the Giants because he won a Super Bowl here. That's the craziest thing. Like, and plus we're seeing it more, right?
Yeah.
We've seen him destroy us with the 20-yard swing pass, the 98-yard runs. Like we've seen him do that against us. Now he's doing it with us. It's more of an appreciation for the generational type player that he is. I mean, these guys don't come around ever so often. You know, there's great
Yeah.
running backs and there's elite running backs, and you can put him in that category. But I liked seeing him have 5 catches. I liked seeing him involved more in that short passing game. That's what we wanted to see from him last year a little bit
Right.
more. You know, he was getting his
Yeah.
touches. I mean, Shipley looked awesome until he got hurt. You know,
Yeah, and he's going to
Shipley,
be out.
he's going to be
He's got
out, but
the he's got the rib thing. He's going to be out. So the
he
injury
looked so
designation,
damn good running the ball
he
as he
really
was in.
did. Landon Dickerson with on the injury report, limited in practice
Yeah, so that's a good
with his
sign.
back. So that's good, right?
Yeah, it's better than DNP. I mean, so
Right.
at least he's out there participating if they're doing walkthroughs or whatever they're doing. You know, and that's going to be a big part. We're going to need him to
Yeah.
step up. We're going to need him this week against Kansas City. But you know, I felt like they held their own. I think Steen looked pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I really have no qualms. You know, they
Yeah.
did what they were supposed to, and I feel like things would have opened up a little bit more if it needed to, which it really
Mm-hmm.
didn't. But you got to realize it's okay. Jalen Hurts took a deep shot, threw a fucking dime to Jahan Dotson. It's not like he can't throw the ball. I mean, he's proven people time and time again he can if
Yeah.
he has to. Like you take what the defense gives you. They finally gave him a single high look, and he threw the ball deep. And then they went
Yeah.
back to too high. Like what do you expect? You want him to throw in the double coverage so AJ Brown can get his stats up, or do you want to win the fucking football game? People gotta
Right.
like calm down and
Well, and I think
understand
Rich, a
the
lot.
game.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is people wanting to relive the fireworks from last year. And they saw how those last couple games went, and the points were kind of just put up at will. And I think early on in the season, this is how you kind of start to build the wins, right? And then now, right, to flip the page and talk about week 2, right? You're going to go to Arrowhead and play at 4:25 on Sunday,
Yep.
and be the game of the week, and look at this from a perspective of like, yeah, it's a rematch. This to me looks, it's not going to look like it did in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
but I get the feeling like it could be more of a comfortable win.
Yeah.
I think Kansas City is a little vulnerable. I heard
They
some
have
people
no wide
comparing.
receivers.
I heard some people comparing them to like the Golden State Warriors of the last couple years.
Yeah.
Right, that they won all those championships and looked so impressive doing it, but now are in a situation where, right, you've got Travis Kelce is a tight end in his mid-30s who's doing his best. They don't really have a lot of weapons on the outside. They still have holes on the offensive line.
Defense didn't look good.
The outside of Chris Jones, the defense didn't look real good. Chargers kind of did what they wanted to do. And Justin Herbert was slinging the ball all over the field. Now, the way that this is playing out, very similar to the Eagles last year, right?
Yeah.
Playing in Brazil in week 1, come home for the home opener. And they're going to, they played in Brazil on Friday, coming home, play now, right? That they're going to have a day and a half less of recovery, but they're going to have a team coming in hungry on the road. I think this has an opportunity for the Eagles to take advantage of where Kansas City kind of lacks in talent.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Kansas City of old. No Rasheed Rice, no Worthy.
These are not your dad's Chiefs.
These are not your dad's Chiefs from last year in the Super Bowl. But you can never sleep on them because they're a well-coached team.
Yeah.
But you saw their vulnerabilities, and it starts with that offensive line. That offensive line is not as good as they were last year. And you've seen, it's so funny that the NFL went from protecting Patrick Mahomes to letting Juwan, was it Juwan Taylor, get away with all these holds,
Mm,
3 holding penalties they called against him, which they were not calling anything against him last
mhm.
year, until it came time for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
You have liabilities on that offensive line. The
yeah,
running game could not get going. It didn't look like they had that spark. And then Travis Kelsey taking out Xavier Worthy on the second or third play of the game, that doesn't help because there's your deep shot. They're going to try to nickel and dime you. They have wide receivers who they will have to nickel and dime you and take the 5 yard passes and extend the drives and get you tired because they don't have home run hitters right now. No Jalen Royal, their rookie that they drafted. There's no Xavier Worthy. So you're dealing with Hollywood Brown and Juju Schuster and Travis Kelsey and whoever the fuck else that they decide to throw out there.
yeah. I mean,
And
Xavier Worthy didn't practice, so
he's,
his
yeah, he's
status is
probably
up in
going to
the
be
air,
out.
right? But like, Rasheed Rice is obviously not playing because he's suspended for the first stretch. But like Tyquan Thornton, you know, those guys are the guys that you got on the edge, right? Where those guys have had their moment. I wouldn't tell you that any one of those dudes can't get covered. Like
No.
you're going to have the ability to be able to lock down what you need to lock down, and I think the
We got to
pass
lock down
rush,
fucking Hollywood Brown and have Juju Smith Schuster beat us. Good fucking luck.
right? And if
Not
that's
worried
the
about that.
case, then
Travis
we've
Kelsey's
got
not fucking outrunning Jihad Campbell or fucking Zach Bond. Sorry.
Vaughn
Or Cooper.
or Cooper DeJean, right? Like, so who who's going to hurt you on this defense or on this offense? I don't the way when you match this up for this offense versus the Eagles defense, I just see that the it far kind of leans in the Eagles direction
Okay.
because of where they have not addressed. Like, yes, did they get Joshua Simmons, right? Did they bring him in, right? But he doesn't look like your guy that you're going to leave out on the edge by himself. I mean, this to me just kind of says like, yeah, they're going to be able to hold them to a limited amount of points,
Yeah.
and they're going to be able to put up points because outside of Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, like there's nobody, there's not a ton of guys on this defense. Now, the X factor in this is Spagnuolo, right? Spagnuolo
Yeah.
is a guy who can do a lot with not a lot of talent, right? And he does that with the schemes and the way that he's going to design high blitzes, and we know that that's something that Jalen Hurts struggles with,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's going to be on the Eagles offensive coordinator to be able to scheme plays and scheme stretches of plays that they are able to get down the field and be effective in the run game.
Yeah. You're going to see watching, it was really cool to watch the YouTube TV presentation. I liked what Tyron Matthew and Derek Carr, like Derek Carr is a hell of a guy to explain an
Mhm.
offense to you. I really enjoyed listening to him talk. And Tyron Matthew, I like when he was talking about Spags and the different fronts. You're going to see that, and it's what's
Yeah.
expected, but they're going to game plan for it, and the Eagles are going to see what's coming. The Chargers were missing 2 of their best offensive linemen on that game, and they were still handling that defensive front
Yeah.
pretty well, picking up their blitz packages, handling Chris Jones. He was a terror, for some of it, but
Mm-hmm.
they limited that amount of terror to net
Yeah.
positive yards and be able to throw the ball. McDuffie didn't look good um, playing on the outside. He got burnt a few times. Quentin Johnson took advantage of that. Lad McConkey didn't really do too much in the slot because they really didn't have to go to him.
Yeah.
This Kansas City team is vulnerable. We've seen that. We've played against them at full strength. They're never a team that you're going to rule out. Nobody thought we were going to blow them out in the Super Bowl last year. I know I
No.
didn't. But it was a breath of fresh air. I'm looking at what they tried to do to either stop Saquon or make Jalen throw again. Um, I wonder what their game plan is going to be. I would like to see Saquon run for, a buck 30 on him and put up a tutty. I think that would be
Yeah.
great. I'd like to see Jalen Hurts, throw the ball down their throat. I don't think they are the same Chiefs team. I think they are more susceptible to the pass. Getting guys out open in the flat, Saquon or whoever you want to run some tight end shit out to the flat, let them move, break the ball. It sucks Dallas Goddard being hurt, so we're probably going
Right.
to get a big G in there, which is fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Jalen Hurts boy from Oklahoma. It's going to be an interesting game to say the least. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I have it like 28-17. Like to me, I
Yeah,
think
I think
that's
so.
that's more feasible than, putting up a 30 spot. Wouldn't be surprised if it's closer. Wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. But 28-17, I think is a safe number. Arrowhead's always a tough place to play. It just really comes down to, we want to say the turnover battle. But no, it does. It comes down to, can we limit the damage Patrick Mahomes can do with
Right.
his legs, and
When
dink
he's
and dunking
like
his way down? And
when he
what's
dinks and
Jalen
dunks,
Carter
when
going
he's
to do?
extending plays, right? And if Jalen Carter can have the effect on the game the way that he did in the Super Bowl, there are enough pieces. I would say, Rich, that you're better athletically on defense than you were in the Super Bowl. That the
Yeah.
defense themselves, right? Obviously, you don't have a year's worth of experience of tape to look at to say that. But I would tell you that they're younger and athletic, um, which makes them more susceptible to be able to do the damage that they need to do to affect the game up front
Yep.
and be able to cover the lack of talent that KC has on offense. They just don't have the weapons that they had when it was prime Tyreek Hill and prime Travis Kelsey, and they were able to manipulate the ball down the field by sending Tyreek deep and throwing a ball underneath to Travis Kelsey. Those threats on offense are just not there. And I
Yeah.
think if they are able to affect the game the way that they were in the Super Bowl, do I think it's going to be 35-0? I don't, but I think this could be like a 27-14,
Yeah.
20. Like this could be it's 20-14, and they put up a touchdown late, and they're able to get they extend the lead and kind of pull away a little bit. But this to me has by the end of the game, it will be the lead will be a little bit more deceiving than the game is actually played.
I 1,000% agree with you. I think the Eagles are going to dominate on both sides of the ball, um, and do what they really need to do. And it's just going to be limiting what Patrick Mahomes can do. I'm not saying this is like the downfall of the Chiefs, but you can tell there's something different.
Something's
They
missing.
don't, something's missing. And to be honest with you, it's going to be Tyreek Hill when he gets traded there in week 6.
You think
Um,
so? You think he gets traded back there? Do
I,
you get
I
that feeling?
I get that
I,
feeling, but I also get the feeling because it just came out that he's being investigated again for another domestic incident. So I also have a feeling he's probably going to be fucking suspended. Um, I just don't know anymore. That dude's just a
yeah.
fucking wild card. He's just Antonio Brown 2.0.
Is there a worse run organization than the Dolphins?
I honestly thought, Don, and I was texting. I don't know if I texted you guys, but I was
Mm.
texting my buddies, and I'm like, if Mike McDaniel isn't fired after today's game, I don't know what they're thinking. Like that
They're
team
they're they're
doesn't.
so
They don't
bad.
even look like they like each other.
Mm-mm.
There's no morale. Like that team was. Tua looks concussed, and he's healthy.
You
He looks
put
terrible.
that. We'll put that in air quotes.
Yeah, put that in there. I wouldn't doubt that something's wrong with him. I mean, he was staring dudes down and throwing the balls right into the defender's hands. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even close. They made Daniel Jones literally the only quarterback in NFL history to score on every single drive that he was at the helm of, because he didn't take
Danny
a knee at
Dimes.
the end of the game and he didn't take a knee at halftime. Like the only quarterback in the NFL, Danny Dimes.
Danny
And he
Dimes.
looked like a competent quarterback. It's
Well,
so funny when you
he's
get out of the fucking Giants organization on how well you play.
he's not in New York anymore.
Dude,
It's
Brian
not a.
Dabble, he's another fucking idiot. Like, I'm sorry.
Well,
Like, we're just gonna get off the Chiefs and Eagles for a few minutes. Where this is just fun. Mike
yeah.
McDaniel looked like a fucking idiot, but Brian Dabble really, or Dable, really thinking Russell Wilson's gonna do some shit for you. The plays that they dialed up. I love the 4 yard swing pass with a wide receiver blocking for another wide receiver, and it's a 5 yard loss. Like, what are you doing? And Russell Wilson just looked fucking lost. Like,
Yeah,
these
I
dudes just
think
don't have it.
yeah, I don't. When you saw what you saw from Jackson Dart in the preseason, what are you waiting on? Like, what are you getting out of playing Russell Wilson for
They need
whatever
Andrew
amount
Thomas
of
to come
games?
back. They're
Like
not going to play
that,
Jackson Dart without Andrew Thomas. They need their best offensive lineman. But like, you look fucking stupid. If Russell
it
Wilson can't get
looks
it done, go to
so bad.
Jameis Winston at least this week. Make it interesting. That is the most boring fucking offense. Malik Neighbors is, I guarantee, going to beg to be traded and
I
not
mean, you saw
re-signed.
on the side, like the clips of him on the sidelines, completely disinterested in anything that's going on. Like it left me with a lot of questions. I question a lot of like how see the season played out the way that it did last year, and Brian Dable and Joe Shane still have a job. Like
They have
how
naked
those
pictures
guys.
of the Maras. They have to.
I mean,
Because it doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, this
they
guy
must
has
have
shown you
pictures of the
nothing.
Maris with the Maris.
Yeah. It has to be something because this coach and this GM has shown you nothing since their tenure began.
It's so
Brian
bad.
Dable is not good and he has no control. Back to Miami, you trade for Darren Waller, who's probably not going to play this season. Like, how terrible of an organization are you that you trade for a guy to come out of retirement who's
Yeah,
hurt and is probably going to miss some time? You have two stud wide receivers you can't get the fucking ball to, that you don't even game plan to get the
right.
ball to. That's what cracks me up. If I am Mike McDaniel, I go, how do I get Tyreek the ball? How do I get Jalen Waddle the ball? No, we're going to throw 4 yard passes to Devon Achan. You have a wide receiver duo
Yeah,
that is insane, and you don't use them. What does that tell you about your head coach and your defense? Oh, we're gonna trade our best player. We got Micah back. Micah probably wants to fucking shoot himself because he's like, why the hell am I here? This team sucks. They have no linebackers, no defensive line, one decent corner, and that's him. And it's just like, Miami is hilarious. It's hilarious because I really
yeah.
feel like if you put them all in a cage against another team and said you can
Hmm.
fight, that they would turn around and fight each other and they wouldn't
There's
fight
a
your team.
there's a lot of bad football. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL.
Yeah, the Houston Texans. Sorry, the Houston Texans fucking suck.
The Texans, the Patriots looked bad. They looked bad against a bad Las Vegas team.
Dude, Geno Smith was fucking Geno Smith, dude.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers at 41,
Shredding the Jets defense.
slinging it against the Jets against a bad Jets team. The Carolina Jacksonville game, like
Was
Carolina
awful.
is bad,
And
bad,
Jacksonville is bad, bad.
and Jacksonville is also bad. There were some bad week, like as many of the matchups that were good, right? The Detroit Green Bay game was a great game to
Yep.
watch. The Baltimore Buffalo game on Sunday,
Awesome game.
or what was an incredible game on Monday night. Um, there was a lot of bad games,
I was
like games
not
that were like,
I wasn't even impressed with the Redskins. I didn't think the Redskins looked good. I think their defense
I
is
mean,
ferocious.
that game. Oh, their defense is bad, and that game I feel like was more a product of New York being that bad rather than Washington being that good.
Yeah. Like, that literally showed me nothing from Washington. Oh my god, the Saints versus the fucking Arizona Cardinals, that was awful.
Yeah,
Like, Kyler Murray still does Kyler Murray dumb shit, but like, it's
Kyler
so
Murray and Spencer Rattler.
Kyler Murray is like, oh yeah, I put up points. Oh yeah, I did this. You threw a terrible interception, and if Spencer Rattler was any good, they would have scored off of it.
Yeah,
That Kellen Moore, why he took that job, so dumb, so dumb.
yeah.
And I'm trying to think. Let's see, Minnesota. the Minnesota game. I watched
Yeah.
that. That just shows you how bad Minnesota and the Bears are.
Right.
The
Yeah. I
Bears are
mean,
dumb. That's just, I
Bears are
know Ben Johnson's
Bears are
trying his
bad
best,
and
but oh
dumb.
my God, they stink.
And Minnesota, like JJ McCarthy starts funky, right?
Stupid.
But at least puts together a competent second half. I think
If I would have told you, Don,
there's not a whole lot of teams in the middle, Rich. This year is going to be a lot of haves and a lot of have-nots,
yeah,
and not a lot of teams fighting in the middle.
no. What if I told you? What would you think the completion percentage for Caleb Williams would be, or any quarterback, if they start 10 for 10 for the game? What do you think they would finish completion percentage wise?
I mean, you would hope that they would finish like in the at the very least in the 70th percentile.
I would say 80%. If your team starts off, say you have 26 passing plays, you start off 10 for 10. I would
Okay.
expect you to go, maybe 80% passing. That's your passing percentage. He
Yeah.
started out 10 for 10. He finished with a 60% completion percentage.
Ew.
And I
That's
gave and
gross.
you got a fucking head start. He finished like 21 of 36. So that means he threw the ball, what, 26 more times and completed 11 passes. Like that
That's
was an absolute joke. And JJ McCarthy looks fucking terrible. It's
yeah.
just the Bears got worn down. Jordan
Mhm.
Mason was delivering the boom to that defense. And JJ McCarthy, I don't know what happened. Like the Bears were in control and fell apart. And it
Yeah.
shows you that, like, yeah, there's so many fraud teams. The Browns and Bengals, bro, the Bengals
There's
are trash.
bad.
The Bengals are trash.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase are the Lamborghini in the trailer park.
They are.
It's that bad.
And Joe
Talk
Flacco
about.
starting terrible. That's laughable. Like he looked awful.
I mean, Joe Burrow and I are 4 years apart. That should tell you something.
Yep, you and Flacco, two old
Me,
fucks.
yeah, gray
We're
hair.
not going to say who's older, though. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's okay.
Who's older?
He's older.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's totally older than me.
He's totally.
Talk about Micah and what he does for that defense, because that to me was, out of everything that I saw, the Sunday night game aside, everything that I saw, the most alarming thing that I saw on Sunday was Green Bay's defense. Green Bay's defense looked great,
Yeah, they looked awesome. I mean, Green Bay had a tough defense last year.
right?
But again, it's not up to their defense. Like if Jordan Love has a few Jordan Love games, they lose games. Like their defense looked great. Micah was an immediate impact, and it's hilarious because Dallas was one defensive star away from beating us, but they
Yeah,
happened to trade him to Green Bay, and Green Bay was able to handle Detroit. But Detroit looked terrible too. Detroit didn't look good. Jared Goff
none.
looked ass. But again, new offensive coordinator. Don't play in the preseason. You're going to look rough. Let's see if they can bounce back. But
Right?
Micah was an immediate impact player. He was
I mean,
all over the fucking field. And his
Detroit with a
blitz.
rebuilt offensive line, right? Detroit rebuilt their offensive line, so they're filling holes. I mean, they moved Micah all up and down the line. They let him line up essentially wherever he wants and do what he does best and just go run and get the quarterback. And
Yeah.
you saw what he does, what he's able to do when he's surrounded with talent. And just to jump on the Micah train a little bit, the news comes out on Sunday about the package. Now, you knew it was never going to happen,
I was so upset.
but the package that they offered for Micah Parsons was like, I don't know what else could have been included, but that was an impressive package because it included multiple ones,
Yep.
2, 3, a 5, and a player. The player, I can only assume, based on the package that they accepted, would have probably been like Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
I mean,
And no, they're like, we want only 2 picks, and Kenny Smith. God damn it, Dallas. Just give us Micah. We always
Right.
wanted him, and we can have him, but it was hilarious. Do you think teams read like when coaches say, hey, we're going to use this player specifically in like blitzing and or like blitzing spots, because I'm pretty sure that they said something about that with Micah. He's only going to play in certain scenarios where he's going to rush the passer, and that's all he did. Wouldn't you like read that if you're Dan Campbell and go, hey Jared, when you see Micah in the game, he's going to blitz you, so maybe like pick somebody up. Oh wait, he did. It was Penny Sewell who got sunned. And who hasn't
Uh,
Micah Parson ever sunned? But Penny Sewell, they voted was better than him. Who is that guy?
that's Lane Johnson.
That's Lane Johnson. That's
Yeah.
Lane Johnson. Put some fucking respect on his name, because Lane is in a league of his own.
Yeah. Before we talk fantasy, talk to me about the Buffalo Baltimore game because Baltimore implodes with like 4 minutes left
All right,
and
so
gives up.
the Baltimore Cowboys, holy cow, man, they are literally the Cowboys of the AFC.
Oh
And
gosh.
it's sad because I like, what the fuck are you run? All right, so Harbaugh, why are you running a jet sweep with Zay Flowers when all
I
you
can
have
only
to,
laugh through this whole thing.
like, you run a jet sweep with Zay Flowers and he loses 6 yards? Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs in the game, does something he doesn't do ever, fumbles the ball.
Yeah.
And then you just literally just let Buffalo just march up and down. And
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is a new defense by Baltimore. You got Jair Alexander. You got Roquan Smith, who's great. Oh, this is one of the best defenses we've seen. They let Josh Allen and a bunch
Do
of B squad wide receivers just
Yeah.
go all over him. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. I don't think I give Josh Allen enough credit, but Josh
I
Allen is
mean,
good at football.
Josh Allen is fantastic at football, and he is the king of making lemonade out of lemons. With the roster that they have and the depth chart of guys that are like when you're slinging it around the field with Khalil Shakir
Yeah.
and Josh Palmer and Dalton Kincaid, like the pinhole throws that he was making, and if we just call it like it is, if he's playing, they're in the game.
Yeah.
They have a chance. And I don't know, Rich, if you got a chance to take a peek ahead at their schedule, but they don't have a really tough game on their schedule.
No,
Can I
Buffalo.
read? Can I read you their schedule?
I would love it.
And you tell me where the loss happens. They're going to play next week against the Jets,
Win.
Miami,
Loss.
New
I'm just
Orleans.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait, what?
I'm just kidding. Miami's not even showing up. It's going to be a
Right.
4.
New Orleans,
Win.
New England,
Win.
Atlanta,
Win.
Carolina,
Win.
Kansas City at home,
Win.
Miami,
Win.
Tampa.
Loss.
Okay.
Loss.
That's at home. They're going to get Tampa at home in November.
Loss.
Okay.
Or win. Win. Sorry.
All right.
Win.
Houston,
Win.
Pittsburgh,
Win.
Cincinnati,
Win.
New England,
Win.
Cleveland,
Win.
and then they play the Eagles on Sunday, December 28th.
Loss.
So like
their schedule was easy.
And then the last game is against the Jets, which I can only imagine based on that schedule, they're going to have they could have already packed it in before the Eagles game.
I need them to redo the divisions and put us in with both New York teams and
New England?
no, because we'd had to have Bills, I guess, in our division. All right, we'll do Tampa. Or not Tampa, fucking Washington. I would just want to play both New York teams, and get an easy 4 wins because
I
it's
mean,
atrocious. That
the
AFC East is a
like
joke. It's a joke.
that schedule. So, and this is where my conspiracy theory jumps all over this. Right, this is the last. This is the last year in Ralph Wilson Stadium. They've never gone to the Super Bowl. This schedule is absolute like trash juice. Like this
Yeah.
is awful. And I because I was peeking ahead to see like, oh, when can I play Josh Allen in
Every
in our daily fantasy? And I was like,
whenever you
oh,
want.
I can literally play him any week I want
Yeah, whenever
because
you feel.
the entire schedule is absolute garbage.
Yeah, they got lucky, dude. They don't win. They didn't get a champion schedule. They didn't get, a tough Chiefs schedule. They just got
No,
their normal, all right, you play your division and this is the other
yeah,
division you play. And just so happens to be another terrible division in the AFC South.
yeah,
I mean, the Jets have the same schedule. Miami has the same schedule. It's just they're not Josh Allen. I
yeah.
look at it that way. Is there a conspiracy? Probably is because I know they're moving their fucking field. But it's just crazy that Josh Allen has conquered that division since Brady hasn't been there and they have not been to a Super Bowl. Like
It's pretty crazy.
it just shows you that yeah, Josh Allen's that good, but there's more than just having a solid elite, or let's just go elite quarterback. There's
Yeah.
other aspects that go into it, and that's what makes I think Jalen Hurts and this Eagles team so special.
Hmm.
Is because you have an elite quarterback, you have an elite wide receiver, and you have an elite running back. Pick who you want to beat you, but it's most likely going to be Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Before we jump out, Rich,
In the high-stakes world of fantasy football, the managers who obsess over stats and waiver wires are part of an elite squad known as the fantasy unit. These are their stories.
so the John and Order portion of the segment,
I got fucking smoked.
our daily, our first week into our daily fantasy survivor pool.
So fun.
Uh,
It's a great time.
what I will tell you, pleasantly surprised. Feels like a success. I mean, I say that because I did win week one, but it's we were talking a little bit before the show. It brings a different aspect of this that you have to try to like look ahead, see who's on whose schedule, see when you can start to manipulate guys. But when you look, like I love the idea of having to pick one guy,
Yeah.
and you only get to use the guy one time in the whole season. Rich, tell everybody what happened.
Don and Joe both smoked me.
But
So here's the thing. I liked everybody's strategy, right? Everybody had something different. Don, you went for the straight. All right, I'm gonna get some studs and some ones, and this is how we're gonna run it. And it fucking worked out. Like week one, play your studs, right? They always say don't fuck around. I fucked around and I found out. That's what happens. I played Tyrone Tracy. I played a kicker from Carolina who's not even on the team anymore because I failed to look at it. It was pretty fucking hilarious. But no, I mean, I love it. I like that it's just us three because it's really easy to follow.
yeah,
We get our picks in on Thursday of the guys we want. We can't change it. Injury happens. Oh, fucking well. Like, chalk it up for the week. Like it's just like a survivor pool or a pool where you pick them against the spread. And as soon as Thursday comes, it's locked. So it's cool.
yeah.
You have that aspect too. Like I just like the fact that you can't use the same guy, and we haven't had overlap, which is cool. Like I figured we'd all have
That
one
is
player
cool.
1 week,
Yeah.
but it just shows we're all thinking differently. Like I'm looking at, let me sacrifice, a few weeks until I see who the studs are, and then let me use my weapons. But I mean, Don, you got CDA Lamb in this week. You have Trey McBride in this week. You have who's your running backs that are in
All
this
right.
week?
So Chase Brown, because they're going to play the Browns,
Stud,
right? Derrick Henry,
Derrick Henry, stud,
right? Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb,
yeah,
Trey
studs.
McBride, Brandon Aubrey, right? The Rams. I tried to go and look at where guys we're going to have the best matchups.
Yeah.
Right? Where are really great players playing against really bad teams?
Mhm.
And that's just kind of where I'm trying to look at trying to not look at the projected stats because that can always get funky and kind of lead you
Yep.
astray a little bit. But looking at those guys that sometimes are not in the 1 and 2, but the guys that are in that 6 through 11,
Yeah.
right? Trying to look like Chase Brown is a guy who's going to start and get a lot of touches, and he's going to go up against a defense that can be vulnerable against the run.
Yep.
Derrick Henry, I can only assume, is going to have a really good bounce back for
Don, I'm going to
trying
tell
to.
you this right now because I feel bad. Chase Brown is not playing the Browns. They already played them.
What am I looking at then?
That was last week.
Is that last week?
Yeah, but if you're still going off last week's schedule for this week, that's fine, Don. You can keep them. No, you probably were right. They're probably playing somebody that they can actually run all over. But how I look at it, which I like your philosophy of it, is you're
Oh, they're
picking
playing the Jags.
the Jags, which he will run all over. So it's completely
Right.
different. How I'm looking at it is I'm looking at it from say I have a fantasy draft board, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't want to use my top 3 round guys yet because I want to see if I need to play catch up. If I'm down that much in points, okay, let me start playing these guys. You're racking up the early points. You and Joe are racking up the early points. You're playing your studs. And I'm looking at the board, okay, we'll cross this guy off for Don, cross this guy, cross this guy, cross this guy. Don used pretty much the first, his first and second round picks across the
Right.
fantasy scoreboard, which is cool. Look, that's how I'm looking at it. I want to take maybe one of those guys and put them in, but here's a guy I would have drafted in the 7th round or the 10th round because
Yeah.
let me see if they hit with the Flyers. Your strategy is definitely after week 1, you and Joe is paying off way more than I am. But I'm also looking forward
but
to
let's be honest. It's
weeks
1
8
week.
and on. Let me get those wins too, with still having the CD Lambs, the Justin Jeffersons, the AJ Browns.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I'm looking at it. But man, it
I
is
like it.
fun because it's such a different way of thinking and a different way of
Mhm.
doing it. And it's hard. I literally sat there before we did the podcast and I might have erased 3 names because I'm like, I don't want to use this guy yet. Well, should I use him? Because Don, now I see Don's lineup because I was the first person to put a lineup in last week. But
Yeah.
now in a second, I'm like, oh man, can I compete with that? Can I beat Don's team? Oh, now I need them to have a bad week and my guys to go off. So it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this process. It's different and it's fun. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, and you and I were we were texting in the group because the tiebreaker, although we are dealing with the chance that there is a tie is going to be the most slim of options because we are dealing with decimal points of points. So, but there's 2 Monday night games. The Monday night score is the tiebreaker, so it's the total between 2 games. These kind of little angles throughout the year are going to be fun.
Yeah. And Don, please read off because you won. So read off the points from last week. Let everybody know
All
how
right.
much you dominated.
All right. So Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, Jonathan Taylor, Brian Thomas, Nakua, David Njoku, and then Will Lutz and Denver's defense. So I ended with 132.9. Joe
Good week.
finished with 123. And then Rich, you finished at 79.6. So we are keeping a couple of things, right? We are keeping track of the total team points for the whole year, and then whoever finishes with the most gets 2 points. Second, whoever has the second highest gets 1 point. Third place gets 0. Right? So we'll keep track of both, and then see kind of where we land at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it so far.
Sounds
Even though
good.
it suck.
Hey, listen, I guarantee you, we will all have weeks like that.
Yeah.
It's just how there's no way, even if you pick the A-list guys,
Someone's going to be a
like
flop.
if any one of us had picked Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, right,
Yeah.
and
Or Xavier Worthy.
right, or Xavier Worthy, and burned any one of those A-list number 1, top of the draft guys, and gotten 1 point or 2 points out of them, right?
Yep.
That guy's going for the year. So, there are always going to be weeks like that where that stuff's going to happen. So,
1,000%.
final thoughts.
Oh, final thoughts, man. Trying to think if there's anything good. Shout
Got
out!
it.
I dropped Xfinity this weekend. Got YouTube TV to watch the
Okay.
games. Shout out to YouTube TV, man. The quad box is a fucking game changer. Putting up the red zone in the right, letting that screen talk, just watching the red zone, and then having the Bengals game on, having the fucking Jets game on, having the Miami game on, and putting on whatever 4 games or 4 shows that I want to watch at one time. Mind blowing, Don. Mind blowing.
All right, you and I are going to have a discussion post game.
I
Post show.
fucking love it. Shout out to YouTube TV because the NFL Sunday ticket, it's fucking awesome. So
Yeah.
thank you and fuck Xfinity. That's what I know.
Listen, I'll keep it short. Shout out to the Marlins and Phillies for making right what was a incredibly embarrassing display of fan behavior by the lady in Miami.
That bitch.
It just the memes that have followed have just been epically funny. So shout out for the Phillies bringing the kid and the family down and getting him in touch with Harrison Bader and getting the autographs, and the Marlins people, even though it is Marlins stuff, getting him set up with the gift bag, the gift baskets and stuff like that. Everybody other than that lady handled it wonderfully. And the fact that the first game back, the first foul ball to go in the stands, everybody in the section is chanting, "That's my ball." Is like, what a better, funnier way to handle it. Like it was just fabulous. So shout out to everybody involved except that lady. So
Agreed.
take us home.
Well, we're drunk on broad. I'm Rich. That's Don. Appreciate you guys coming to watch us. Always, you stuck around, you fucked around, you found out. It's always fuck Sean Watson, fuck Spike Eskin, fuck Karen Phillies fan because she sucks. And fuck Dallas. Go Birds, baby. Tune in next
Go
week.
Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
It's Birds.
Go Birds.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.